Christoph. My name is Zenzi. Payroll name Deb Helfrich. I need somebody who's fluent with consciousness, who is a kind and caring individual, who wants to be part of sorting the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot. I'm a degreed philosopher from Carnegie Mellon. My life is at stake because of a toxic mold exposure in 2014 when I moved into a Bellevue apartment that had mold behind the walls. What has happened since, from my own perspective, has been the ability to become exactly who I was born to be. In the sense of plantation capitalism, I've become a spectacular failure because I can't find anyone with an attention span long enough to listen to the fact that as the founder of #wellbeing philosophy, I've discovered how consciousness is the key to uniting us as one species. Which we have to do if we have any chance of solving planetary problems like global warming, the ever-escalating burdens of chronic disease and mental illness, and the dehumanization of plantation capitalism. You see what happened? The mold took away a significant portion of my sense of time, a significant portion of my socialization, ad hoc, on the spot, shoved way out in my memory banks. So I'm just being who I am, playfully and joyfully. You might call me an acquired prodigious savant. I am autistic. Nobody ever saw it in me. And try going out as a 53.5-year-old going, I would like some autism help, please. This is what's wrong with our civilization. We treat humans like widgets. And I've looked at your work, especially interested in the fact that I've been following very closely Professor Moutry's, Alison Moutry's work with the organoids, UCSD. So you were part of a recent paper. Let me tell you something. My TOE, from consciousness outward, I'm the Phineas Gage, and sort of Phineas Fogg too. Around a TOE in 80 hours. But more the Phineas Gage. I don't have a rod, of course, in my head, but I do have the ability to shift into altered states of consciousness. Performance, for one, artistic flow. It all makes sense to me, but only when I am fully optimized and can think beyond the linear socialization, culturalization types of thinking that just put us in repetitive, autonomic, pattern-based processing and thinking. To have free will, it's an altered state of consciousness. I mean, the physics is there, the deterministic universe. We know about the pull of entropy and gravity and biophysics and trauma healing and epigenetics and sound. All of these various different expertises brought me to a place where I'm the one who's going to ignite the next neuroscience. I'm asking for your help to stay alive. Looking for a 6 to 12 month adjunct researcher, philosopher, help me put all this together in a way that there are so many testable hypotheses right there very quickly. And that's why I'm saying I'm the Phineas Gage. I'm willing to sit there, put this brain under whatever you got. I don't care, but I like to try MEG. There's a real big point to that, but electrodes wire me up. I have had low energy neurofeedback exposure, and that is one of the things that saved my life. I lost well over 80% of the ability to walk and talk in my 40s because of that mold exposure, on top of having autistic shutdown and multiple chemical sensitivity. All basically the same thing, to be perfectly honest with you. My theory gives us a new definition of chronic disease and mental illness. My theory is a unifying theory of human energy, potential, and well-being, because I'm a philosopher. I'm not trying to get all the quack busters on their cackles until we've done some research. But it is a unifying theory of body, mind, and soul. Energy, potential, and well-being. It's again the truth. I need your help urgently. I have been destitute for 2 years and homeless for 18 months. I want nothing but a chance to pull this all together with people who have more than a 3-second attention span. And then, as a philosopher, let's get the research started. I'm going to go across every nook and cranny of Earth and do stand-up philosophy, getting us talking about the truth of being one species, the fact that all life has consciousness, and therefore we cannot go around species extincting after species extincting, because we ourselves, as the pinnacle of evolution so far, have under 30 years in a number of logical, philosophically astute scenarios. Please, let's talk about taking this rare brain attached to 53 years of extraordinary lived experiences. See, I feel like this will fail like the thousands of other pleas I've made for my life. So I've lost my energy, lost my brain waves. It's called selective mutism in the autism field. The whole thing is, Christoph, we got to start lining things up. Everything's so separate in so many silos and so expertise and so much specific terminology. When you come back up to the philosophical level, we have enough data to start really understanding the multiplicity that's going on in the human body, brain, and biofield, and start doing some nonlinear thinking. I call it life-centric thinking, which is where I will create the Wellbeing Philosophy Institute to spread life-centric thinking across every nook and cranny of Earth, and to come in and do much more research at the philosophical level, at the do-it-yourself level. Wellbeing Philosophy Institute will make clear anti-racist life-centric thinking about human energy, potential, and well-being a necessary global public good. We don't think about ourselves as the extraordinary beings that we are. And that's a legacy of whiteness. That is the output of plantation capitalism. It's all tied in together, how we think, how we live, the civilization, the epigenetics, but also the embodiment of that, the stress hormones, the nervous system that is in constant, like, if we'd set out to build a man-made environment that would stress everyone out, we couldn't have done better intentionally. The unintended consequences of industrialization and hyper-digitalization. So yes, I have a brain that is autistic, that info dumps, that is not in charge of the nervous system, and that has proven again and again and again that it can demonstrate shifting brainwaves. My brain is so optimized that I lost 150 pounds in the 15 months after turning 50 without altering diet or exercise. All thinking equipment, trauma healing, biophysics, and ancestral wisdom. I am the Phineas Gage of the 2020s. Please help me demonstrate what my brain can do, and let's get it wired up for science, and then let's make philosophy a necessary global good. Because it's all about how we think. And the poverty of our thinking has created this world filled with chaos. Stop thinking we are separate. Stop thinking that we have to be some special sort of mammal. Stop thinking all kinds of erroneous things that really contradict each other. And person by person will ripple into everyone having the agency to do what's necessary to reverse global warming and to discover new ways to have the abundance that we want, and to discover new ways to build a civilization that does not dehumanize a single person. You know, what I've lived through as far as spending all my money to try to stay alive from that toxic mold exposure, being alone in the world, and having become utterly without freedom because of lack of money. This is a story that must get out, and I need your help. Because this, to me, this must come out to the world at a very high level. I'd like to get the science, talk about what's going on, come to Seattle, meet Mackenzie or Melinda. The wise feminine is so necessary in this world. I'm doing this for all of us. And I think you're the guy who's interested in using consciousness to solve not just what consciousness is, but all of the rest of the intertwined problems that arose because we separated ourselves from what our indigenous ancestors, all African ancestrally. And that phase of our history, those first 200,000 years, what's occurred over these last 500 years took away so much of our knowing about the environment, the natural living environment that's so crucial to us. All right. Harmony. This has been Zenzi, debhelfrich.squarespace.com, 360-969-5826. 1 year, sabbatically, adjunctly associated with the Allen Brain Institute as both a subject and a researcher. Change everything. Harmony.